Good afternoon, everyone. It's Kyle coming to you here. I've been posting quite a few charts through social media over the past couple of months, um, and yeah, picture does help, and I've left quite a few comments on there. I've just tried to be as clearly as I can, um, but I wanted to take a chance and see if maybe video would be a little bit more helpful. Some people have noted the information I'm putting down is uh, you know it is good. It just sounds like there could be a little bit of need as far as a little more explanation goes. All right. So I wanted to go over a stock today. I want to go over Apple because everyone knows Apple. They either have some sort of device from them. Um, and I wanted to go over this on a very technical basis. I wanted to keep it as simple as I could, at the same time give you as good information as I could. So there will be a couple key points I'm going to make. Um, and again, you can see my chart here is set up. I just have one moving average, and typically, I'll use a couple more things. Um, but you don't need to overcomplicate your charts in order to really get a good amount of information from them. And I'll show you how that kind of works. This is a 10-day moving average. It's typically used as some sort of a barometer or a rudder for the price action. Okay, when price is below the 10-day moving average, uh, it's typically bearish in sentiment. When we get over the 10-day moving average, it's typically bullish in sentiment. And this video is just going to be a little bit longer than what I'd like to do, just because I want to explain the different indicators that I'm going to be using, so you have a nice full understanding of everything, kind of draw a full picture for you. Um, and then later videos, should be significantly shorter, just a couple of minutes. All right. The next indicator I've got over here is a MACD. This is a momentum indicator. If we see the prices going up, let's say, we want to know how strongly is it going up? How strong of a trend is that? And that's something where this MACD can give us some clues as far as that goes. When the white line is above the red line, that is bullish in sentiment, bullish in momentum. When the white line dips below the red line and diverges, gets away from it pretty heavily, that's when we see bearish sentiment. All right, bearish momentum. Okay. So to kind of start digging into things, I wanted to make note that Apple has been in a longish term downtrend. It hit $700 a share mid to late last year. I think it was somewhere in September, and then it came back all the way down to this 385 mark, which was in the middle of April. Okay. It pivoted off this 385 mark and came back up to 465, which was the most recent high that we're going to be considering, really, with any sort of significance. And then it made another high somewhere around 458 here, just at the end of May, before retracing, coming back down all the way to 389, which was Friday. All right, this 389 low is critical. Yeah, we want to take note of this because it is higher than this 385 mark. So when we're making higher lows, that could be a hint that we are looking for potentially reverse to the upside. How strongly that is, again, we need to kind of take things day by day, and we need to see. But this price action here and today's movement is something to consider when we're looking to take a position. I did draw an upper trend line right here, so we can see that there is this downward top to this trend in the short term, and I'll kind of open things up a little bit more so here so we can kind of see things a little bit better. So there is some resistance here. That's what this line is. Maybe I can make this red just for theatrics. I'll make this green down here to show positive support. All right, so it looks a little bit better. All right, and again, using this 10-day moving average as a rudder, we can see that this is basically, it closed right on top of that 10-day moving average. So we don't have any huge clue today. We saw it make a nice up move off of Friday's close, which is good to see. But we don't have anything definitive yet. Technical analysis, it's not an exact science to the cent. We want to kind of take things a little bit more broadly and, just kind of respect the price action and the different points. All right. So, again, this is right on the 10-day moving average. What we're looking at this point going forward, is how do we make money on this? Okay. Do we go long Apple? Do we buy it? Do we go short Apple? Do we sell it? I personally am an options trader, kind of a day to a swing trader. So, even with a couple of dollars worth of price movement, money can definitely still be made in Apple. All right. But as we can see in this kind of a wedge pattern here, volatility does increase. Again, when we are in this sort of a wedge. Once we get out of this wedge, that's when we can kind of get a little bit more aggressive. At this point in time, I'm trading at about half my normal entry size. So, for example, if you're trading if you normally buy in for $1,000, I'm trading at 50% of that now. So, just because, price action does move rather quickly and is just sloppy when we're in this sort of a wedge pattern. And I'd wait to get aggressive until we're at least out of this wedge pattern to either side, more so to the upside rather than the downside, since we have come so far down. So right now, we can definitely make some money and definitely, make some trades. It's just more a matter of, being a little bit more cautious as far as the size goes. All right. So what we're looking for here tomorrow, and I want to give some real life, trading ideas, is, if we're looking to go long, if we're looking to buy Apple to some regard, make a couple of bucks to the upside, all right, how can we go about doing that? When do we buy in? Okay, and I don't like trying to pick bottoms. I made a couple of dollars down here intraday off this bounce and some confirmed strength midday. But I sold out of that position, and now I'm sitting flat Apple after making a couple of bucks down here. Take your gains quickly when you're in this sort of wedge pattern, because as quickly as you can make them, you can lose them just as fast, if not faster. All right. So what we want to see here going forward, and again, this is something we could potentially use tomorrow or the day following, is a break of this high. This high was made at 4/12/27, as you can see up here. If you look on the screen, 4/12/27 is the high of today. So again, if we're looking to buy Apple, get long, maybe try to make a couple of bucks that way, we want to see a break of that 4/12/27 to confirm further price movement to the upside. All right. On the contrary, if we're looking to the downside, and again, I'm talking very short term here. If you're more of a longer term investor, this is not the time to start trying to get aggressive, trying to get cute with things. If you can't really watch Apple that closely or watch the markets that closely, this may not be the best buying opportunity. You probably want to wait for some more strength until we get out of this wedge at least, if not breaking one of these two, one of these two highs to the upside and really getting momentum on your side. All right. So again, if we're looking short term, if we're looking to short Apple, the question is, at what point do you short Apple? Well, we don't want to short today's lows. Okay, although there is a gap here, and you can be looking for about $6 worth of a gap magnet potentially if we get below today's lows. We really want to see for a more a bit stronger movement to the downside. We want to at least see this bottom break. Okay, so we'd be looking here somewhere in the 389 mark. You can see, Friday's lows were 388.87 if you look in the same area at the top of the screen. So, that's the first point at which I personally would be looking at shorting. That would confirm this downtrend continuing, and we'd be out of this wedge pattern, potentially see some follow through, maybe down to 360. If you don't feel comfortable being that aggressive, and again, that is a rather aggressive play. Everyone is different as far as what they can risk and what they can what they're looking for. You can wait to short this on a break of that 385 low back in April. All right. If we're more of a swing trader, a longer term investor, you really want to wait for at least a break of this downtrend line, somewhere in the 445 region. If Apple went straight up at this point. I personally would be looking more so at a break of the 465.75 mark, just because, the more confirmation you can get, especially for long-term investors, really the better off you're going to be, and you're going to put the odds in your favor a lot more. All right. So that's Apple. Right now we are looking at this MACD still being bearish. It's another reason, you don't want to be full trading size. But again, if this starts curling up, if the white line, MACD line, crosses that signal line, we could see this get going, maybe even up to 445, 450 to test this downtrend. All right. But that's about it for Apple right now. Again, take things day by day, and I'll have some updates later. Take it easy. Bye.